Hey, YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Foundry Virtual Tabletop version 12 from the ground up. So in our last episode, we went over various other mods. I'm drawing a blank as to what they were. Was it token mold? Let me just double check. We went over Dice So Nice and Dice Tray, actually. Token mold we did earlier. In this episode, we're going to go over 3 more mods. I don't know exactly how long this is going to take, but we're going to go enable them so I can remember what they were. So one of the first ones is this GM Notes right here. The next one is, I think I went too far down actually, is right here, Health Estimate. And the final one is going to be, where be ye? Token color marker. So those 3 we're going to go ahead and say save and enable. And I'm going to show you. So these are actually just really handy to have. Because, for example, there's not like a hunter's mark, right? There's not. Oops, that was the wrong button. What was I doing? So if I wanted to put a hunter's mark on someone, I can't come in here and go here and look at these different options here, and any of them could be hunter's mark. And a lot of these, because of automation and stuff, if I do it, it will actually affect, rolls and stuff like that. So, if I say it's dead, it's going to get that bad thing. If I say incapacitated, it's going to have disadvantage or unable to move or weird things like that. Invisible is going to make it have like advantage on its attacks because it's hidden. So we can't really use any of these. So what we can use for something like that, and these aren't in order that I'm actually doing it. I'm actually starting at the targeting, what was it called? Token color marker? I can't remember. But you'll notice now we have this little icon up here, which is a nice little rainbow. And if we click on it, you can actually see we have these various options. We have kind of a rainbow one, white, and all this. We have a 1 and a 2 and ABC. So let's say we wanted to make one for Hunter's Mark. So what we can do is we can come into our configure settings, go down to our token color marker. Is that what I said it was? Did I actually get it right? Probably not. And we can see the settings here. So we have our settings, which we'll go into in a second. We have the display the token color marker button. That is, I believe that's this one right here. I don't know of any other button that shows up. I don't think there's one around here or anything. So I'm assuming if we undid that and then did this, now we don't have it anymore. So yeah. I don't know why you'd ever do that, because I don't know how to actually place a color marker on anyone if you have that disabled. So, I guess you could disable it in general. So this is for players. I usually have this set up for the GM because I might have other things, like I might set one up for Hex or something like that, which we're going to actually do. Monochrome makes it so that, the icons that it has will be monochrome, or the little rainbow will be a monochrome thing. And then the max pixel size is, what is saying here, the marker text, so the text inside. So now that we've done that, now we can see if we right click on one of these guys. Did I not? I didn't save it, did I? I'm so good at doing stuff like that. For the GM only. I think I do need that one. So now that I've done that, now I have it again. And so we can actually edit these and create whatever we want. We can get rid of ones we don't like and stuff like that, or change them with this My Color settings. And as you can see here, what we do, this has actually changed in the last few iterations, and it's gotten much, much cooler. So here you can see that you have various options. You have one is colors. As you can see, you get these little hex values and stuff. If you set it to a, hold on, I'm in the wrong spot. This is the order of them. But when I go to add one, for example, I can choose to add a color or an image. Now, if I add in here the text section, that will actually add text to the thing. We can change the color text. So if we're using, you know, a black one, we definitely don't want to use black text. We'd want to use white text to offset the black text, right? Or the black button. What I want to do is, let's just go ahead and I'm not going to get rid of any. But we are going to go ahead and add 2 of our own, and we're going to do it as 2 image ones. And I think we'll have to find if we have any good images for these, but they can be anything. So for this one, we're going to do Hunter's Mark, for example. And this one, maybe I should only do 1 just for time. I think I'll only do 1. I'm going to say yes to delete that. Let's go see if we can find something that might be kind of like a target or a rectangle or something like that we can use. Probably in core data. Let's go to icons and maybe not targeting. That might be it. That might be good. Oh, we got lucky. Look at that. So we can use, maybe this one would be good for Hunter's Mark. It's not red or anything, but I kind of imagine that. So now we have this little Hunter's Mark one. You can upload your own, put them on, you know, your server or whatever, so you can have whatever you want. But in this case, let's just show you what that one does, because it'll be quick. So if we hit close now and hit save, now let's say I don't think we have a ranger, but we can pretend. Yeah, we don't have a ranger. But let's say Hunter's Mark or Hex or whatever has been placed on this guy. Now we can actually go ahead and use our little Hunter's Mark one. And there you go. And if we go look at our player screen, you can see that they can also see this. So now it's easy for them to track that Hunter's Mark's on there. Now if I wanted to just do it with a color or something like that, you know, so if I don't have control of him, but here you can see it's not actually showing it for the players. So players don't have access to that. It's GM only. So that's what I wanted to show there. But, you know, if you just wanted to do it with a color and just say, oh, the Hunter's Mark is red. And you can see you can actually stack them and have them all in here and disable them as you want. You can have more than one enabled. You can have the rainbow one. If you do the numbers, you know, you can see that it does it nicely like that. So really handy to have for those special things, but you don't want to interfere by using one of these guys, which might also have some effect to the dice or something like that. So that becomes very handy. Why has that got a yellow? Did that have a yellow in there? Hold on. I thought I saw a yellow block at the very bottom. Maybe I didn't. So there you go. That is the token color marker. Pretty easy one. The next one's also a very easy one. And actually, I guess we don't need it, because we actually get the information from the one that pops up here. I forgot about that. So as you can see, we have that unharmed. That was gonna. Oh, actually, no. That is the color. That is the health estimate. It's already running. So health estimate will actually let you know, or your players get an idea of what the state of someone is. So as you can see here, it says unharmed. I can see here I'm unharmed, or one of the characters he has control. These are the two he has control of. This one is more or less not controlled because we don't have it set up in the thing as someone he control. So that's why these have the little yellow box around them, and this one's blue or teal, whatever you want to call it. But as you can see, it says unharmed. A lot of times your players want to know how that mob is now looking. And if we go in here and take a little damage, let's say he takes maybe 3 damage, -3. Now you'll see that now he's injured, and players can actually mouse over him as well and see he's injured. So it kind of has this whole scale, and we can show you the scale real quick in here under health estimate. I'm in the wrong. Players don't have access to it. You do as GM. So as you can see, there's a few. I think these are pretty obvious things. You can go through and look at them. You know, there's add temporary health if they have it, so that, you know, it might change it a little bit. Instead of being like healthy, it'll say healthier, or kind of have something just to say that they're above their max health. So instead of just saying uninjured or unharmed, it would actually say healthier if they have 10 hit points. Unknown entity names. I've never even messed with that. Output estimate to chat. That will put it in the chat every time it's that player's turn or something like that. It'll put it in chat. That gets really annoying really fast and takes up a lot of your chat space. So I usually don't do that. I don't do anything there, but the main area here is probably these three buttons, and we'll just go over those. So under here we have our behavioral settings, and I really don't do much in here, but it's good to know they're here. So you can change it from the death state to whatever you want. You can say NPCs die immediately, which is kind of the general thing. When a non-player character dies, they go to dead instead of unconscious or incapacitated or whatever else. You can see the estimates of the following tokens, so you can change that to say, okay, only show the estimates on player characters or non-player characters. I leave these all the same. Show estimates to users, so you can make it so the game master is the only one that sees it, but then I'm still answering everyone saying, oh yeah, it's looking bloody. And bloody is actually a thing in the system now, at least in the D&D 5e one. When you get it past half health, it will actually switch it to, it will put a little icon on it saying bloodied. Once again, don't do that much. You can set it to only show it when you're in combat, or just have it always show it instead of having to mouse over it. Like I said, I really don't change much in here. The estimation settings, this is how the game is actually going to know what state they're going to be in. So here you can see, because everyone has a different number for 100%, and that it's actually using the percentiles. So at 0, obviously, they're unconscious. At 25%, they're near death. 50%, they're badly injured. 75%, they're injured. Barely injured at 99, and unharmed at 100. And you can change these around just so your players don't know. And then of course you can do it with vehicles and stuff. I've never really messed with vehicles much, and then you can even add other tables yourself. And then here is where the one thing to also note is you can't really, well, you can kind of see it. Here you can see it's a bright green color. Here it's kind of a yellowy green color. And if we do another, say -3, you'll see that now it's a yellowish color, and it'll move from that bright green all the way to bright red. And based off, that's based off of, their actual percentage of health, but it's not a set thing. I mean, it'll go from it could say near death, which, does this say near death? I don't remember. Badly injured, but if we took it down, let's say -1 and badly injured still, it's actually still going to change a bit more. So if you really pay attention, that's kind of a yellowish orange. If I do it again, -1, this should say near death, I would think. So now it's an orange near death. I'm going to go ahead and do -1 again, and you'll see that it's actually a dark orange. And you can actually tell also by the bar here. Obviously your players can't see the bar, but when they mouse over it, they also get that same information as far as how close it is to death or where it's coloring. So even if they don't really read it, they can mouse over it and get an idea. Oh, these are all good, this guy's definitely hurting. So you can definitely get that. Let's go back here. And now we'll go in the style settings, and this is how it actually knows the coloring. So if we go in here, you can actually see, you can set the coloring. This is the max health. This is the tarot. This is it's almost dead. Gives you the nice sample here of the different colors that it goes from. So dead is always just red. It's just flat red, which is this one. And then everything else is a gradient from here all the way down to here. So this is, once again, 1% to 100%. So you can say use color, you can say scale estimates to the grid size. Never really mess with that. Usually I don't really touch anything in here as well. I just think it's a good thing to kind of point out. You'll also notice here that it's saying here it has the outline that's 3. That's where you can see that black on the outer edge of it to kind of just make it pop out. So if it's if, for example, they're on grass or something, it might be really hard to see that unharmed. But if I have the outline to 3 and it's set to darken, that will make the outer edge of it dark. So even on a green, the exact same green as those words unharmed, you're still going to be able to read it. Can change the font and the font size. So that is the kind of, in a nutshell, that's the health estimate really quick. So really handy one. The reason I was saying, oh wait, maybe I didn't need that, is because Pathfinder actually has a mod that does this also, along with some other things. And I was thinking for a minute that that was what was in here, but it's not, this isn't Pathfinder. The last one we're going to go over, and we're at 15 minutes, so we're actually doing pretty good, is one called GM Notes. And here we can, click this button, Migrate GM Notes. As you can see here, clicking the button above to migrate GM Notes from journal entries to the first page of each journal. So I never touched that, never even cared about that, to tell the truth. The one I actually use is just the GM Notes itself. So here you can see change color when notes are present. Once again, I don't care about that. What that does is change the little icon of what we're going to show you. So almost everything, it seems to be everywhere. You get this little icon, and I guess we can actually turn that one on just to show you it. But like I said, I usually don't do it, but it could be handy. So if I go into Serif here and double click him, you'll see up here we have this little notepad now, and it's just white because it's empty. If I click on it, it just gives me a quick little thing here that I can just type in notes. So let's say Serif got some zombie plague, and I don't want them to know. I don't want them to log on their character, but I'm going to give them hints that he has this plague over time. So I could come in here and maybe say, STA, or maybe say zombie plague, zombie, PLAGUE, and then put his current stage, which is going to be 1, and just not feeling good. JUS, just not FEL, feeling good. And I might make myself a little note that, what I'm going to do is whatever number he gives me on attacks, I'm going to subtract 2. So, or I could instead say I'm adding 2 to the enemy or something like that mentally. Generally, I don't, do something like this. I know in Pathfinder there's these onsets of stuff, but I could just say, overall they're not feeling good, and then over time let them know that they're not feeling good and they don't know why. But as you can see, now it is green to tell you that there's a little check there saying that yes, there actually is a note on this. And like I said, you can actually put these notes on pretty much everything that has a window. So if I pull up, I don't know if it's in scenes. Yeah, it's in scenes. I know it's in journal, so we go into a journal. I don't have a journal already. It's in items, so I can add a GM note to items. I can add it to NPCs, like so. Now here's a good question. Well, no, because once I create these as tokens, they're not linked to the actual thing. So if I add a GM note here, I was just thinking this. So if I add a GM note here saying REA really mean, I don't know, and then close that, that one's green, right? But if I go to this guy, because it's not linked, he's not. So this is actually saved with the token data, where these are actually saved into the character sheet. Does the actual protocol thing have one? Yeah, even the token, the prototype token sheet even has one. I'm trying to think if there's anything that doesn't necessarily have one. If we go look at even our macros have one. How about a compendium? I have no idea what that does. Well, it's a roll table, so yeah, roll table has them. D&D SRD content, Rules are just journal entries. Okay, we found something. This does not have one. Tables, adjectives. This is our tokemal adjectives. Those are the roll table there. We already know items have them, so yeah, they're pretty much everywhere, and you can add those little notes just for a little extra thing. So as you can see, also here you'll notice this guy now has the bloodied state too, which is automatically given because of the D&D 5e system. I don't think it's Foundry itself specific, but it definitely I know the D&D 5e does that and automatically puts that there. If we were to heal him up and say +5, you'll see that bloodied automatically goes away. I don't know if it's always at 50% that happens. So his max health, what was his max health? His max health is 12, so that would say if we go down 1, -1, which would be half health. Yeah, it was half health. So at that point, you know he's bloodied. So there we go. There's our 3 modules. I think that was okay. I don't think I had anything really. Like I said, a lot of modules, unless they've got some really unique features, I usually leave 90% of the settings alone, unless there's something that I actually like with the token marker here, the color marker. I like to actually set up one for Hunter's Mark, one for Hex. If I have a, Seraph here is a warlock, so I like to have one for Hex, so that if he hexes someone. And one thing I use a lot, I don't have it here, but you can go download, I don't know a specific link or anything, but I know that you can actually go download World of Warcraft icons. So all those little buttons in World of Warcraft, you can actually download, and it's literally thousands of these tiny little icons of all the different things. And they have a really good one for Hunter's Mark from the actual game, where you place a Hunter's Mark on someone that I like. And the Hex one, I usually use one, kind of looks like a Voidwalker icon and stuff. But because I wasn't focusing on lots and lots of icons and stuff, I don't have any of those in here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. We're right at the 22-minute marker, so that's pretty good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Click that little notification bell. Join my Discord channel. Tell other people about my YouTube channel. Have them check it out. If they like what they see, they can sub. We grow the channel. Everybody wins. And that is it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.